Okay, we should be back with Asgar Tair here. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. We are back. Uh, Hangouts and YouTube do what they do, but we're back anyway. I think. Are we back, Asgar?
We're back. We're back.
Great. So we were talking. Let's just make sure that it's clear. Um, Everyone can see what's going on. Let me just make sure here that we're okay. I'm sure we're back and everything's okay, but just want to double check. Can you hear me clearly, Asgar?
I can. I can.
Okay, let me just check here because it's not. For some reason it's doing swirling or sort of dodgy things. So. Yep, you're there. Fantastic. Great. Okay, so we were talking about Fury and his mental state and the Danny Jacobs thing. So continue what you were saying.
Yeah, people obviously took. There's been a lot of other stars that have not got the attention Tyson's received, and what Tyson's doing is people need to understand it's okay not to be okay, and some people have too much pride not to be okay. So what Tyson's done is reached out and shown the world, the masses, that look, if you want help, the help is there, and also reminding friends, check upon your friends, check upon the so-called stars, because you just never know, because they'll say they're okay, but are they okay? And Tyson Fury was a great example, because if the most famous boxer in the world can be unwell, then who can't be unwell? You see where I'm coming from? So maybe it was for a reason, and it's a great reason, and I'm glad Tyson's brought it to the public attention, and it's great. The feedback is great. The help he's given to others is great, and even if he can save one person, isn't that itself worth more than anything?
Absolutely, absolutely. I think what Tyson's done has been great in terms of that. The mental health, the battle he's had to come back is an incredible battle, and no way am I diminishing that. I think it's incredible what he's done, and for him to get back in the short space of time he did to be fighting against Deontay Wilder for the heavyweight championship of the world was a phenomenal feat, no doubt.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So I want to talk about. There's some things you mentioned in your comments about what they did while you were in America and preparing for the fight. The week leading up to fight. Some of the Wilder team tactics. Talk to me about this. This has been very interesting.
Yeah, well, I'm not saying it was intentional, but it was a bit strange for us. All go back. It all goes back to the ring, the canvas, and
Yes.
for my liking, we've inspected the ring, and I felt it was a bit spongy. It was me, Ben Davidson, and Shane Fury, and Hubie Fury. We've gone in there, and we felt something came right, and we had a look under the underlay, and the underlay had been doubled from there to about there, and it was spongy. And we had a look, and it had been doubled. So we told him in the politest of ways, look, it needs to be changed. And there was a lot of talk about, oh, it's not in the contract. And we said, look, we're asking you, it needs to be changed, because Tyson Fury's a mover. And the only way you're going to stop him moving is by taking away the legs. And that's obviously by increasing the matting. We've learned a lot from the previous bouts. And that's one of the things we're going to check. If you're going to have a fight with Tyson Fury, be fair. So, give credit where credit's due. They did change it. Well, I don't think they had any choice, because I think they realized we were stubborn. So they changed that, and we didn't want to make a fuss about it. We didn't want to make a hoo-ha. We were just here to get on with it, because it's what it was. The LA commission was great. They understood it. They said, look, if you want it changed, we'll get it changed. So happy days.
Wow. And then you mentioned also the one that really got my attention was marijuana via the air vents.
Oh, that was great. Well, I shouldn't say it's great. I'm saying it was.
It may have been great. Talk to me about that.
Well, we was all in the room, and it was me, the commission. This is to begin with, and every time the commission guy walks in, and I can smell marijuana, and I'm thinking, oh, maybe he's gone out to have a smoke or whatever, because in that area it's legalized, isn't it? And I was like, maybe it's one of those things. But then he's looking at me like maybe I'm doing it. I've never left the room. So everything's fine. Everyone's moved in, and everyone's saying, "What's that smell?" But nobody wants to accuse anybody. Frank Warren comes and he goes, "Who's been smoking marijuana?" Obviously upset. And we was like, "Well, I thought it was him," and he was like, "I thought it was him," and was all blaming each other. Then we checked the vents, and it was all coming out of the vents. Now, I'm not saying at all that anybody tried anything intentionally or with malice or wherever, but there was a lot of fumes coming out of that air vent, which wasn't right.
So you're talking about the air vents and the marijuana coming out of the air vents. Where were you situated at the time, and how would that have affected the fight, in your opinion?
Well, I don't know, because I've never tried marijuana. I'm just saying it was probably to intoxicate the brain, to relax you.
Yeah, but how far away was that from the fight? I mean, if it was 5 days out from the fight, it wouldn't matter. But if it was 24 hours or even a few hours before the fight, that would probably be quite plausible.
Oh, we're talking 2-3 hours.
What? 2-3 hours before the fight? You're smelling marijuana? What?
Yeah, so luckily we got to sort it before it became a problem.
So what? Wait, so you're telling me 2-3 hours before the fight, the biggest fight probably of Tyson Fury's career outside the Klitschko fight, that there's marijuana coming through the ear vents?
There was a strong smell that was that people said smelled like marijuana. I'm not saying it was marijuana. I'm just saying it was very, very suspicious. By all means, I'm not saying at all that anyone tried anything, but something wasn't right. So we had to move rooms quick.
So, okay, so you had the marijuana, you had the ring. Anything else you spot?
Yeah, the show, is it Showtime's staff?
Yes.
This says give all access to all the media from Showtime, because
yes,
they're doing an all access whatever.
Yes.
So then, okay, let one in, let two in, let three in. Next, there's about 30 of them in there. I'm thinking, hold on, there's something getting right here. And then you're asking them, say what's going off here? And then it became too much, and you realize what they were doing was someone was giving away passes. Now, saying this was Team Wilder because, Team Wilder are professionals. I'm not saying they will do anything to do anything, but it was a bit strange how there was about 30 of them in the room at one time, and we had to literally kick them all out. Everyone had to be just taken out. Sorry, I said give us our space.
Okay, anything else?
No, that was it. See, the whole thing is it's completely different from what we're used to. The LA Commission have their ways, and we have our ways. So it's just getting used to the way they were doing things.
Explain the LA Commission for you, different to the UK, for example.
Simple things like when you putting in water, they have to inspect everything that you pour in. When you're in the corner, you're not allowed to go in the ring. You're not allowed to stand up. You have to sit down. They don't encourage cheering to a certain extent. It's very, very strange. There's no spit bucket. But it was just getting used to their ways.
You'll have to repeat that bit again because you're frozen. Say that bit again.
No, simple things like where you had to sit down in the corner. You was not allowed to go near the ring. You wasn't allowed to shout, stand up, or nothing like that. But, I'm not taking anything away from there. It's their way. And the LA Commission, they were brilliant. I'm not going to say they were funny in any way. They were very, very good. Very, very supportive. Very, very, well, whatever we wanted, there was accommodating. So I can't say anything, but it was just different to the way we was used to things.
Okay. One of the other questions that I know that fans were asking me to ask you, I couldn't get to ask you time. Check those Wilder wraps. He punches too damn hard. Obviously, you would have checked the wraps, would you not?
I think Freddie Roach went to inspect the wraps.
Oh, okay.
So I'm sure, we trust Stradley's judgment. I can't comment on him because I didn't inspect him. Had I had inspected him, then I could have commented. But
Right.
you know what it is? Deontay Wilder, he is what he is. He's a great puncher, a great puncher. His record speaks for itself, and you can make up any excuse because when you're that light and that tall and that agile, and it just takes a wild shot to connect, and you are going down.
Okay, let's talk about Wilder the man.
Deontay Wilder, yeah.
Talk to me about Wilder the man and the Bronze Bomber, because obviously there's a difference in character. Talk to me about the difference between the two guys.
Bronze Bomber is a beast that's knocked out 39 of his opponents. That's WBC champion. That's there to knock out whoever's been put in front of him. When the cameras are there, it's all the razzmatazz. The alter ego comes out. He is not your friend. He wants to show you that he's suffered, that he's had to climb, that you are taking food away from his table. It's nothing personal. This is business. He wants to rip your head off. But then you go to the Deontay Wilder, very, very nice family man, from a great family, a great upbringing, that has a daughter that's very, very ill, that is literally fighting to pay for her medical needs. This is a man that's had to face all the struggles coming from Alabama. I'm not saying this. It's pro, KKK kind of. You understand?
Yeah.
And what's heartbreaking with Deontay Wilder is in America it works by states. Now the people of LA will support the people of LA. Chicago will support their people. New York. He's from Alabama where he's not getting much attention or much love. Now it's heartbreaking because he's your WBC king and people do not recognize him. And people were loving Tyson all over America. And
Jim, let me straight with you here. People ain't gonna ask the question. Do you think it really was a black-white thing? Because that's a big thing in America. When a black guy and a white guy's fighting in America, it's always top draw or black guy versus a Mexican guy.
No. There was never.
You don't think it was anything like that?
It was never a case of that. It was just simply a case of states. He was from Alabama. Oh no, it was all about states. He was from Alabama, and there's not much support from Alabama. People in Chicago support the people of Chicago. People in New York support people of New York. He's not from their state, so the sport wasn't going to be really there. And hopefully from this fight, it would generate, the attraction that he's an American. You can't single him out to be a lad from Alabama or whatever. Race was never the issue. You understand? Even though he did have a go out, was it Radio Raheem? And
yes,
he was talking about my people and this, that, the other. Well, we're not talking about history here. We're not promoting a film. We're talking boxing. That should be kept aside in your own time. But it is what it is, and maybe he's passionate about it. And sometimes you need a platform to speak about it. And I hope he did get the right message across, because people need to understand America's not like England. There's a lot of suffering going on in America. And maybe he just needed that platform to say what he needed to say.
He didn't seem to care too much for Gareth A. Davis. He said, "Don't bring that crap over here." He didn't seem to. Deontay didn't seem to care too much for all that, because it seems to like there's almost an ignorance as to the struggle and the strife that's going on over in America.
No, I think it was a case more of Tyson Fury was getting more attention. I think it was a case of this is the guy that's suffering from mental health issues, that's climbed back up, and he's like, "Well, what's that got to do with anything?"
But why would he say, if it was me, would you be giving me this sort of attention? Or would you be saying I was a crazy man and paranoid and all the rest of it?
Absolutely. But that's the way things were drawn. And it was a genuine question. Something that you raised about Jacobs. And Wilder has to accept that Tyson Fury is in the public domain. He's in the public eye. And the attention has been brought to him. So this was rattling him.
Okay. Let me go one step further, and I'm just going to throw it out there, because if I don't ask the questions, then okay, it looked apparent that when Tyson went to certain when they did the press conference in America, it would look like it was strategically planned, as it was in environments that would have been more pro Fury or pro somebody who looks like them. Because America's very much a color. There's a lot of color thing going on, black and white in America.
There was
And I only asked that question because we're in America. In the UK, I want to ask that question. But in America, it is so sensitive over there.
No. That's just media playing games. Listen.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The media playing games. But I've got to ask the question because you were out.
Listen. You've got Floyd Mayweather on my right saying Tyson's won that. You've got Lennox Lewis saying Tyson Fury's won that. You've got, Floyd Mayweather Sr. saying...
We're not talking about the fight itself. That's a different subject altogether. I'm talking about the lead up to the fight, the press conferences, particularly in LA.
Yes. No. The press conference was all Deontay Wilder's fans, all Deontay Wilder's people.
You think so?
It didn't look like to me. No.
It looked like Tyson Fury fans to me.
No, they all came after the press conference. They all came at the weigh-in. This is what people need to understand. They all came a day before the weigh-in, and that's where they all turned up. Now, Tyson had won everybody's heart over there because Tyson Fury's a likable guy. Hello?
You still there? I'm here.
Yeah, people warmed to Tyson Fury because they realized what he was about, and he was genuine. He was a genuine guy.
Fury was talking also about Gypsy King and 200 years of his people having problems. Tyson brought it up first, and then Wilder brought it up about 400 years and his people.
Absolutely. And what he needs to understand is Tyson's talking about his own personal issues that he's having to face today.
But Wilder's saying we're facing now in America at a time where black kids and black men are being and this is the American thing now. The black men are being shot at. And
so listen, totally understandable for Wilder to say what he's saying, but that had nothing to do with the fights. Had nothing to do with the fight. And maybe that was his platform to say what he needed to say. Fair play. But we knew that he was rattled because he wasn't getting the attention. Bottom line.
Okay. Is there anything else before we get into the fight itself? I'm using this opportunity to talk to you to find out the things behind the scenes that most journalists wouldn't have known or most media people wouldn't know because of our relationship and because I've known you for so long and I can ask you these sort of questions. So is there anything like in the All Access that we missed out on, we didn't know about Tyson or things we didn't see, funny things, sad things?
Well, there's loads of things that Tyson, I tell you, it's how caring he is as a person. How, you'd see him walking back with no shoes on, no suit on, and him and his brothers would go around, and when the cameras were away and nobody could see them, and they were giving away all the clothes to the homeless, feeding everybody and giving away money, and there was just, it was very kind of him because they didn't want people to know what they were doing. It's very, very, very. It's touching to see when you see it happening.
Okay. Anything else? Any juicy gossip you can give us before we go on to talk about the fight itself?
No, it was just great because you see how all the Americans were against Lennox Lewis, and Lennox Lewis was sticking up for the Brit, and he was saying, "Watch, Tyson Fury's going to show you," and it was great to see that banter, and then Lennox Lewis had the bragging rights at the end of it. It was great. It was just great, to be fair. The way the Americans took to Tyson Fury was just great to see. It was brilliant.
Okay. All right. So, okay, let's talk about the fight itself, the countdown to the fight, the weigh-in.
Weigh-in was great, perfect, great crowd, great reception, just brilliant.
Did Tyson really feel when he saw Wilder coming so light? Did he really feel, oh, he's a 215-pound basketball player? Did he really believe that in his mind? Or did he have concerns about Wilder's punching power?
No, the only issue that probably was why didn't he take off his mask? Why didn't he take off the suit? What was he hiding? Because he came in at 15 stones with all that on. Did you know this? So if he'd have taken it off, he'd have been 14 stone something. Did you know this? Nobody looked at that, did they?
Okay.
Look into it. You
So you think he was under 15 stone then coming into the fight?
absolutely. Because he got penalised, didn't he? And he accepted the penalty, which is a bit strange.
He got penalised for what?
For not taking off the mask and not taking off, I think it was the robe or the shorts he was wearing.
So you're saying that could weigh for him being 15 stone something?
Yeah, absolutely, bang on.
On the subject of weight, he's now talking about coming in 245 pounds for the next fight. How does that affect Wilder?
It just makes him a lot slower. And it's not going to change anything. With Tyson Fury, you know, you hit him, he's getting back up. It's proven. How many times has he proven that? He can do whatever he wants, change whatever he needs to change, but he's not going to change his way of boxing. His style's going to be the same. And if he tries to change his style, it's just going to completely fold him. Now, whatever he's going to do, fair play to him. One thing you've got to admit with Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury, they're going to bring some excitement to the night.
Okay, so your fight, I mean, from you, Tyson was boxing well until he got caught. And I think in my pre-fight keys to victory, I spoke of Fury. One of the things Fury shouldn't be doing is losing concentration, clowning with Wilder, and backing up straight against the ropes. All the three things he did, which led to the knockdown.
Which one? The first one or the second one?
The first one.
The first one was a knock to the back of the head. If you look carefully.
But that's what Wilder does. That's what Wilder generally does anyway. That's how he punches.
Yeah. So when Tyson's obviously trying to slip like that, he's caught him and he's fell. Tyson was never in problems, so it didn't really matter. But it was a case of, look, you need to be very careful because if the ref's allowing it to slip, which I don't think he was doing it intentionally because the ref was brilliant. So then the second knockdown, no. Now, that was a case of him coming forward. And I don't think, you know, you've got to understand, and it's shown, Deontay Wilder from round 1 to the final bell can knock you out.
I said in the 12, I think I said it before Tyson got knocked down. I saw the round before that he was getting hit one. A right hand is coming. And the next round is when Fury went down. So, and I called it as it was coming. I said he's getting hit with his left jab, and Wilder's coming closer and closer, and that right hand's coming closer and closer, and then boom, he hit Fury. And the 12th round said, watch out, he's going to come like a steam train out for the 12th round. And the right hand came and boom, Fury was over.
Oh, yeah. You know, paid the price, didn't he? But look at his recuperation. It's like divine intervention, how he came back.
It was amazing. It was incredible. I've heard the Undertaker theme tune as Fury's getting back off the canvas. I've heard Snatch, Fury get off the canvas.
Oh, that's brilliant. But you know, what you got to understand is, if you look at Tyson carefully, how smart of a man he is. He knew his leg had gone, so he waited, opened his eyes, looked at the ref, responded, waited till he had some feel of his leg, stood up. Now, you've got to give credit to his conditioner, you know, Christian Blacklock. You know, wow. He just recuperated, bam, like it was nothing. And then rather than, you know, hit a move or wrap up, Tyson's going for the kill.
Yeah, he did come back in that round. That was incredible the way he came back.
I'm thinking, oh my God, what are you doing to us, Tyson? You know what I mean? But, you know, it was unreal. Even if you was to script this in a movie, you'd think it's exaggerated.
At that point, when Tyson was laid out on the canvas, as David A. said, he was taking a nap, what was going through your mind at that point? The image of seeing your guy that you'd been backing and supporting for so long, Gypsy King, laid out flat. What was going through your mind as a team member?
I just looked at him to see if he was responding. I looked towards him on the left to see, what Ben was doing. And then all of a sudden, Ricky Hatton shouting, he's back up, he's back up. Oh my God, he's back up. And then we're screaming and shouting, take a knee, take an 8 count or whatever, just clear your head. But it was clear that he was fresh as anything, like he just woken up. And then we were still shouting, jab, fake the jab, move. But no, he was going forward. He's thinking, you know what? And maybe he was thinking, look, they ain't going to give me the decision. I've got to take him out. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does make sense. Questions about Wilder's durability, whether he can take a punch. Your thoughts on that?
Wilder can definitely take a punch. Make no mistake. Wilder's proven himself. He proved it when he was boxing people like Stavern. He's proven himself, he wobbles a bit. You're talking when you look when he boxed Luis Ortiz. With Deontay Wilder, and talking about the whole decision thing, you can't blame Deontay Wilder. He fought brilliant. And it was a great performance from Wilder. You've never seen him box this well. Took a lot of punches, and he came back. Look in the case of Luis Ortiz. He took some serious punishment.
One thing I'd criticize Tyson to his face about, if I ever see him, whenever I get a chance to talk to him again, and something I don't like to hear him say, is where he discredits his opponents to the point of there being a bum. Now, this is a guy who's a bum.
No. With Tyson Fury, and so like Deontay Wilder, they'll have their opinions about each other because they don't really know. But when warriors and kings collide, they're going to salute each other.
Yeah, but what I'm trying to say is, before the fight, and lots of fans do, he's a bum, he's a basketball player.
Listen. Let's go back to Muhammad Ali and Joe Frazier.
That's Muhammad Ali for a second. And Muhammad Ali, he called Joe Frazier Uncle Tom, and that wasn't particularly nice. And Frazier never forgave Ali for that. That was bad. That was real bad. You know what I mean?
They did forgive each other. They were good friends.
Ali and Frazier, I think there was very bad blood between them for years.
No, there was never bad blood. Behind the scenes, they were friends. And they knew how to sell a fight. And they were pioneers for today's day and age.
Of course, I appreciate that. But...
And when it's boxing, it's nothing personal. It's selling the fight.
Of course, yeah, but think about it. If you're getting knocked down by a basketballer who's a bum and is skinny, 215 pounds, piece of nothing, and I can beat you with my hands behind my back, and you're getting dropped by a guy like that, that doesn't, unless if you said, there's a dangerous puncher, he's a good fighter, he's a this and he's that, that's giving the guy credit. He's the first, second, or third best heavyweight in the world. There's nobody else. Out of those three, Joshua, Wilder, and Fury. That's it. They're the three kings. That is it.
Yeah.
So really, you've got to really be giving Wilder all his props.
You've got to give Wilder all his props. Prove himself.
It's difficult to give him and it goes, fans actually literally believe he's a bum and a basketball player. So then a bum and a basketball player has dropped your ass twice. Not once, but twice. And this is a fight. Now, I remind a lot of people that said, Tyson, there's no way that Wilder's going to touch Tyson. I said,
hello?
I'm here. I'm just waiting for you to come back. You seem to
sorry, you've gone all black. Okay, yeah.
I'm here.
Now, listen. If you look at the fight, how many rounds would you give Deontay Wilder?
The knockdowns.
Okay, so when we talk about listen,
3, 4 rounds.
Whenever do you see a heavyweight move the way he moved?
Who? What?
Tyson. It was a phenomenal performance.
You're breaking up.
And to be fair, he made. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear. Wilder or Tyson we're talking here?
I'm talking Tyson made Wilder miss a lot of shots.
Yeah, I agree. But
if Tyson, let me tell you, if Tyson chose to just to move all day. He would have made this easy work. Yeah,
I agree. But the one thing you got to do when you go to America, you've got to rip the title from the champion. And he didn't rip the title from the champion. He may have boxed nicely. He got dropped twice. Getting dropped twice is not a dominant performance. When you go to America, you've got to rip the title away from the champion. Tyson didn't do that. He boxed beautifully, but he didn't rip the title away from the champion. You can't be dropped twice and rip the title away from the champion. Hasim Rahman, when Lewis fought him in the rematch, knocked him out. There was no, the points and... No, he knocked him out. There was no disputing. There was nothing to dispute. Lewis did a job on Hasim Rahman. There was no dispute. But anytime you got a guy you go into the 12th round, you've been dropped twice in a fight, that then is not a dominant performance. That then, I'm not saying Tyson didn't deserve to win the fight. What I'm saying, when you're talking about being dominant, he wasn't dominant.
We'll have to listen. Tyson dominated that fight.
How can you dominate a fight when the guy's been dropped twice? You can't dominate a fight.
You're going to say your thing. I'm going to say my thing.
Of course, you're going to say.
No. And listen.
Okay.
Look at when the decision was given.
I'm not disputing the decision.
Hold on.
Okay.
Look at his corner. They're celebrating a draw.
Oh yeah. Well, wouldn't you?
What the heck? No.
Oh wait.
Embarrassing.
That means a rematch and more money. You're celebrating a rematch and more money.
Hold on. You're talking more money. Hold on a second.
Of course.
That's just devalued him. You ain't the best out there no more. This boy from England has just proven to you he's the king, the Gypsy King, the number one.
Wait. There's a rematch to come. Listen, I'm not siding one way or the other. There's a rematch to come.
No, stop.
Okay.
There's a rematch that's been sanctioned.
Yes.
Now, nothing's been agreed.
Oh, yes.
Of course they want the fight. Who doesn't want the fight?
I said that fight is a bang-on rematch. And I said that not only is it bang-on rematch, that it'll be a rematch that should be held in Manchester to topple the...
Okay. Stop right there.
Okay.
You're talking Manchester.
Yes.
It's football season till summer.
Yeah, and?
So the earliest it's gonna be is summer if it's in the UK.
Wembley's
a very good shout, and I think it's a great shout, and I think it will sell out. Now, well, if it does happen, it will again.
Yeah, while the Fury 2 in the UK.
It'll be great. And I think
PBC's in the UK as well. Why not?
Why not?
Well, who could Anthony Joshua fight to topple Fury Wilder 2?
Dillian White. No, you couldn't topple it. You'll have to fight
Usyk Joshua.
No, doesn't really do it for me. That's a freak fight.
You think so?
Yeah, I don't think he's going to prove anything. I think he's
undisputed champion versus unified champion.
Yeah, it's a super fight. It's a freak fight. It's not heavyweight versus heavyweight because the lighter guy is just going to hit and move, and Usyk can move. You know, AJ connects to him. AJ knocks him out.
AJ knocks at Usyk, you think?
Yeah, if he connects, listen, there's different levels at that stage, yeah? Now, I'm talking AJ needs to fight someone like Ortiz. He needs to fight someone like, even people, Dillian White. Give that man his credit. Give this man his chance. How many times are you going to put obstacles in Dillian White's way? It's just ridiculous now.
I've said that Dillian White should leave his current setup and join Warren or somebody else, or even PBC. I've said it already, and I'll say it 1,001 times.
I do feel sorry for him because he's a nice guy, Dillian White,
He is.
And he deserves that chance. And they're not going to touch him. They're like flipping out. Look what he did to us when he was not even fit. Imagine what he's going to do to us now. And it's interesting to see how him and Chisora is going to play out because he's only got himself to beat. You know, he'll only beat himself because Chisora will take him to the dugouts. Chisora will want to rattle him and throw the overhands when he's reckless. But if Dillian White just boxes and keeps it nice and easy, home sailing.
I think Dillian White beats him in the rematch. I really do.
I hope so. I hope so. I like Dillian White.
So, all right. Let me see. There's a lot of people in the room. Let me hear what they've got to say from it.
Yeah, man. Let's fire some questions.
All right, people in the room. I want Asgar to break down. This is Alan Hurst. Let me just get this up because the writing's so small in this room. Let me get break down rematch with more patient Wilder, of course. I always believe in Fury from day one. Alan Hurst starts the question.
He wants me to what? Break down
the rematch between Wilder and Fury.
Well, I couldn't because I know what I would have said. Let Ben just do what he's doing because he knows what he's doing. He studied Wilder, and nothing much really needs to change. Tyson just needs to stand a lot taller, keep it to his advantage. You don't need to come down and give, Wilder a bit of a chance. Just make it as boring as possible. Yes, the fans want a super fight. Yes, the fans want to see actions, people getting dropped. But Tyson can make this as easy as he wants to. And it's proven itself.
Okay. Matt B says, draw means you keep the title, which is why they were celebrating.
Yeah, but it's just the alphabet titles. Who's still the lineal champion? Surely your intention's got to be, I want to beat the man that beat the man. And to you to celebrate a draw, come on, that's telling you one thing. Hold on, we drew against the Gypsy King. That's an achievement. Come on. It shows you the levels.
Let's see what's going on here. There's lots of people, got lots of comments here. I'm just going to go through them.
Let's have the horrible ones. Let's just get through them.
If you're, let's see here. The ring looked quite small compared to the Vlad fight. Did you have a say on this, or did they have tried the spongy canvas tactics? You talked about that. Colin McGuire says, this is Adam Alley.
What did he say? So you broke up there.
Might be talking about Wilder there.
What did he say? What did he say?
I think you might be talking about Wilder there.
Saying what?
Wilder left his baby mama for a gold digger. He says, Freddie Roach, Adam Hurst said, Roach had so few days with Fury. Did he add anything substantial?
Not really, because it was all Ben Davison. Ben Davison had his game plan, he knew what he was doing, and that's what it was.
Okay. Where is Ramsey? That's a good question. Where the hell is Ramsey?
That's what I'm asking. Where is Ramsey? I mean, trying to call the geezer. No, he's working. Ramsey's busy doing what he's doing. I need to catch up with Ramsey, to be fair. I do miss the geezer, but he's working. He's a gas engineer by trade. I'm sure he still visits certain camps. He's doing his thing, I'm doing my thing, and it's just a case of dropping texts to each other. But I do need to catch up with him.
More offense from Fury. Did you see missed offensive opportunities?
For what, sorry?
It says, Roach said he would have liked more offense from Fury. Did you see the missed offensive opportunities? Asked Organic.
No. Listen, Freddie Roach is an offensive kind of trainer, yeah? He likes the old Mexican style, toe-to-toe, all-out kind of style. You see the people he's worked with, Mike Tyson.
Yeah. I've seen a lot
Manny Pacquiao and all. You see what he's worked with. Mm-hmm. But this wasn't a case of having that style. This is a case of being smart. Because one thing you can't deny, he's not called the Bronze Bomber for nothing. He's not knocked out 39 of his, at that time, 40 opponents for nothing. You know, so you can't engage with someone who's a serious threat. So I understand that Freddie Roach's favour is more offensive, but this was Ben Davison's game plan, and fair play to it. Keep it safe. Why play dirty when you don't need to?
Okay. Fury mentioned 200 years, so Wilder mentioned 400 years. Regular Raheem was playing dumb about your people. Fury's number one heavyweight, says somebody else. Yeah, I agree. Wilder was rattled and was so eager to KO Tyson. Who dare ask why Peter or Hugh have not publicly congratulated Tyson so far, says Daniel Manu.
Who says they haven't? And you know, it's a family issue, and it's got nothing to do with anybody. But who says they haven't? The family, end of story.
Okay.
Blood's thicker than water. Remember that.
Okay. To the point, square on messing about trying to switch it. That's I said. Yeah, that was what I was saying about Tyson. That's where he gets clipped when he's messing around. In fact, every time Tyson's been knocked down, it's been when he's been messing around.
Lesson learned. Lesson learned. Come the second fight, I'm sure he won't make that mistake.
Matt B makes an interesting point here. He says, I like it. It's quite a very interesting point. He goes, Wilder loops punches to the back of the head when opponents duck. What do you think about that, Asgar?
Don't agree with it, but if he's getting away with it, why not?
J Star says the Tyson that fought Klitschko wouldn't have got caught by Wilder. I don't agree with that.
Listen, you can't talk about past, and you can only talk about the present. And you know, this was a case of the most dangerous heavyweight out there versus the best that we thought we had, we knew we had, and this was about proving who was number one, king fighting king, champion versus champion. So whatever people want to say, listen, that was a great matchup.
To the point, it says, I'm not sure who's more deluded, this fella or AJ fans, LOL.
I think I'm more deluded. Tell him it's me. Not really. Listen.
Fury's the best boxer in the heavyweight without a doubt. What can be done to improve his power?
Let me explain to a lot of people that don't know. Believe me, he can punch. You ask Wilder if he can punch. You ask all of his opponents, he can punch. But he's never had to rely on his power. He's always used his speed and his skill. You get close to him, you'll understand about power. Trust me.
Okay. Right. When Fury said 200 years, he was talking about boxing and bare knuckle fighting in his family for 200 years, not prejudice. I think people misinterpreted that. Yeah, says Jordan Anderson.
They did. It had nothing to do with race or anything like that. This was a case of his people, you know, coming from a traveling background. People don't understand the suffering that they have to face on a daily basis, even today. And it's seen as like it's ignored. You know, people casually talk like saying gypsy. You know, gypsy is a racist term. People are casual. Oh, it's not racist. It's okay. Well, come on, think about it.
You're breaking up. I don't know if it's probably your phone that's breaking up all the time.
No, it's not my phone. Hold on, let me just try this 1 second. Let me just try this. I'll share the TV while we're on. Hey, watching Lemachenko.
Okay.
Is that better?
Yeah, that might be better. You just keep breaking up all the time.
That's cool. Okay.
Better.
Okay, cool.
Guys, explain to this guy the difference between being durable and being chinny.
Chinny is when you don't get up. Durable. is that the best way to put it?
That's brutal.
What am I supposed to say to that?
That's not right. Let's move on. Pity Fury doesn't have enough power. Many times Fury caught Wilder cleanly and it didn't have no effect.
Maybe Wilder's got a great chin. Maybe he's got great resistance.
Oh, and Fury is from Traveller Stop, not Romany.
He is Romany.
To the point says, ha 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 ha, they weren't friends until Ali was very ill.
They were friends. Watch the movie.
That's Ali and Fraser were talking there.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Watch the movies. Watch where who gives him a chance when he was down and out. Fraser pulls up and says, "Jump in the car, I'll give you a lift." And he says, "Look, let's make this. Come on, people need to understand the way boxing works, how it works. Boxers need to sell a fight."
Razor Ramon says, Jordan Anderson, fighting's fighting, LOL. They're idiots. Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying he was talking about fist fighting, not equality, that's all. By the way, got no...
So he's cut out there.
Razor Ramon.
What a name, Razor Ramon.
What a name, yeah.
What a
Class name.
What a name.
A lot of people jumping in now. I'm enjoying this. Miller Ortiz, nothing else in terms of just your opponents to topple possibly a Fury Wilder rematch.
You can't mention Miller in the same breath as these guys. Come on, man.
Ortiz versus AJ.
Great fight. I would love to see that. That's a great fight.
A draw against Wilder is a win because Fury wins the rematch, says CC2971.
I think I think Tyson definitely same result, but easier. Schools him. Listen, it'll be a great performance.
Razor Man says Wilder was at his worst, has still got 2 knockdowns. Wouldn't you expect him to be better?
What do you mean? I just don't understand that, because how would you expect him to be better? Because
I would think if Wilder was at his worst and he said he had that injury, if because it could be all excuses. If he was, then you can expect a lot better Wilder in the rematch.
You know, these people that say they was injured, listen, rubbish, because you're medically examined. Are you trying to say the commission turned a blind eye? Is this what Wilder's trying to say? That they were corrupt? Is this what you lot are trying to say? My backside, listen, he was fine. Your handshake after the fight was fine. Everything was fine. You can make whatever excuse. It's like George Foreman said when Ali beats him. He made every possible excuse possible. But in reality, he got schooled.
Okay. Fury came with a 2.5-year layoff and will only get better.
Absolutely. And he fought at 60%.
Razor Ramon says Wilder tried to force it because he wanted to impress. And then this guy turns back and says Fury will annihilate him in rematch.
I agree. Wilder probably did try and impress. Why wouldn't he? It was his first big pay-per-view event. He was trying to sell it. You know, it just went global. This was it. Why wouldn't he trying to put a performance? Because he's already trying to win over the crowd, and it's not been working. So he's got to show people he's like the new era of Mike Tyson.
All right. 8-star DB says, come on, Gypsy King. Rematch will be tougher. Wilder and Fury will be both better, but Fury has to be the favorite. He needs to hit Wilder when he's clipped him a few times he was hurt.
Naturally, the fans want blood. Naturally. Of course you want blood, but we're talking about just fight easy. I mean, fight easy.
Wilder needs to stop all the excuses and man up. He was at class, pure and simple. I think Fury beats him, might even make him quit. I think he had the opportunity to possibly stop him. And then Razor Ramon says, Wilder's no quitter.
Wilder is definitely no quitter because he took some punishment. And he kept going till the end. He's a warrior. He's proven himself. He stepped up to the table. He came forward. He took the fight. He put his title on the line. So you cannot say anything about Wilder. You cannot say nothing because he proved himself.
When Fury wins or does well, he never gets full credit. Chisora won. Chisora was unfit. Klitschko, he was old. Wilder, not at his best.
Because people, they don't know how to take Tyson Fury because he's so controversial. He brings other things into the limelight, and people don't know whether it's like Marmite. You either love him or you hate him. But December the 1st, I think everybody realized he's the man, and we do love this man. His story is phenomenal. His boxing is incredible. And what the future holds is unseeable because this guy is, how can you say, he's got everything in the world at his feet now.
Okay. Razor Ramon says, nah, Fury gets all the credit. All Wilder supporters respect Fury, says Razor Ramon.
That's right. And he won over the American crowd. He won over the world crowd. He brought in, he went global overnight. Sensational overnight, you know, from being known in certain countries to known all over the world. What a man. And he deserves it, rightfully so. And for me, that was the main thing. I'm so happy for him.
Ingram, good show. Thank you. Prolific genius in the room. Salam alaikum.
Hey, my brother. How are you? Islam, how are you? I still need to, hey, tell them I'll be in Stoke very, very soon. And we're going to go for that kebab.
I'll have to tell him as well. Salam alaikum, brother. Salam Asgi. Congratulations on the fight. Showed the world who the heavyweight king is. 3 years out, and they still haven't caught up with Tyson.
Mate, listen. Well, you know, what Tyson did was phenomenal. But listen, you've got to give Ben Davison his credit, his work, his time, his effort. You've got to give people like Christian his credit. The people that did the work, you've got to give them the credit because they was under so much pressure. Had it gone wrong, who would have got the blame? Well, he went right, and they deserve all the credit. You know, what a team. Great team. Great team.
When does Round for Round come out next year? Mithy says it looked as that it was only the power of Fury that was lacking a bit from 2.5 years ago. His boxing brain movement was spot on. Hopefully you can keep in the gym and regain full power in rematch.
Again, people underestimate Tyson's power. Believe me, he's hit so hard. And people will realize when he doesn't have to rely on his speed and they come a lot closer to him and he actually detonates them shots. Then they'll understand about his power.
Does Asgar believe Joshua would be easier for Fury? I do.
I definitely do. I think he'll be a lot easier. AJ don't throw in as erratic as Wilder. And I think AJ's a lot stiffer, a lot stationary. I think, to be honest with you, Tyson would just school him. I'm not saying in no disrespectful way. I like Anthony Joshua, but I just don't think he's on the same level as Wilder. I just don't think he'd even beat someone like Ortiz. I just don't think, you know, we've seen how, I think AJ's declining. You can see in his latest fights, I think he really is declining and it's catching up with him. It would be a great fight. I would love to see that fight happen. But for me, I personally think Tyson Fury don't need to prove himself now. They need to prove themselves. Wilder's got all them doubts in him. Them two should fight each other and the winner fight Tyson.
Okay. LW says, has Peter Fury fallen out with Asgar for supporting Tyson?
Why would he fall out with me?
There you go. Can you ask Asgi the situation with the ring mat? Did they try the same track? We talked about that already. Which sparring partner gave Fury the most problems?
Tim.
Tim?
Yep, Tim.
Who's Tim?
Tim's the guy that always be with Tyson. He's the one that sings along with him. Great boxer.
Okay, great. Now, just going to come against Pulev.
Sorry? Pulev what?
Pulev and Fury. Hugh Fury. How do you think about the fight?
The game plan went out the window when he got cut. It was a very bad cut. So he had to do what he had to do. The game plan went out the window from there was a cut. It was clear to see, and people just don't realize how good Huey. And I still think Huey. I know Huey will still come back and he will become world champion. He just needs to sit back, readjust, rest, and let himself heal properly. And like they said, he had a cut with 2 weeks to go. You know, it's not a secret. And those that you just you can't write Hughie Fury off. He's so young, and he's mixing. He's had 2 world title shots.
Yep.
So you say, give this man credit. Give this man credit.
Tommy Fury, talk to us about him.
His debut is December 22nd. It's going to be a great show on the Frampton Warrington undercard. We're all going to be there, so it's going to be great. It's going to be a great night. What an undercard! You've got Heffron versus Williams. You've got Conlon fighting.
I heard that Heffron is being knocked off the the VADA testing. Him and James DeGale, they were talking about that.
I've no idea.
So yeah, VADA marked him and James DeGale off. Mark Heffron and James DeGale from off VADA, I think.
I don't know. I have no idea.
Okay, go on.
Well, what an undercard. So it's great for Tommy. Tommy's a serious operator.
So how's Tommy connected to the team? Is he part of the team, or is he doing his own thing? Or
Tommy is trained by Ricky Hatton, part of Ricky Hatton's camp.
Okay, so we understand what that is. Okay,
he's Tyson's younger brother.
Yep.
Well, youngest, yeah. So he's part of the family. He is part of the team. He is the team, you know. But he's doing his own thing under the guidance of Ricky Hatton. Ricky Hatton, you know, speaks for himself. You know, a proven trainer. He's trained world champion. He's been a world champion himself as a boxer. So, and he's part of our team, Team Gypsy King. So, it speaks for itself.
I like Nathan Gorman. I've got an eye on Nathan Gorman. I think he's going to be pretty tasty in the heavyweight division.
I agree. I think an interesting fight would be him and Daniel Dubois. I think.
Yes.
Daniel Dubois is a monster, but then you've also got Joe Joyce. Joe Joyce, a serious operator.
Where does Joyce fit in the mix for you, in your opinion?
I think he's ready for. He's definitely proven himself. I think he needs a few top 10 fights. I think he will definitely.
Ortiz, really think an Ortiz fight is for him now?
Yeah, listen, you know Joe Joyce. When you look at him, you think he's a bit, you know, one-dimensional, but he's consistent, and he's getting better, and he's getting better. Silver Olympic medalist. You know this. Listen, don't write him off. And okay. I think 2019 he'll win a version of the world title. I believe, even if it's the regular belt. I definitely think, and you know, especially with Sam Jones guiding him, I think he's going to surprise a lot of people.
Let me throw a name out there. We're going to just go lower down the division. An interesting fighter. Your thoughts? Anthony Yard or Boatsi?
Who? Anthony
Yard or Boatsi?
I like Boatsi very, very well. I think he's dangerous. Now, Yard's a very likable guy. A lot of questions in his levels of opponent. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And that's what you're talking, but you don't know until you've mixed with each other. So interesting. I thought Jose Burton and Yard, that would have been a great fight if it could have ever happened.
Who would you go with, Yard or Burton?
Burton.
Why?
Proven himself.
But who?
Hello?
Very dangerous.
So I missed that out.
I said, so who's Jose Burton beat? He's beaten Buglioni, who got knocked out in a round by Callum Johnson, Callum Johnson is a very dangerous man.
Well, this is it, because you don't know, because this is the point of being tested. They need to really mix it up to see who's domestic, who's European, and then you can step it up, because Yardley's in the top. Is it top 10 of? Is he number 1 in the WBO?
Right, number 1 by the WBO.
Yeah, so people really need to prove themselves domestically to show that they're the number 1, because it's a very, very interesting division. Very interesting.
Bibble's number 1 for me.
Who?
Bivol's the number one for me.
It's not something that I've looked into at that division. I'm more of a heavyweight guy, but I wouldn't disagree with what you're saying. But I think these guys need to start mixing it now. Promoters need to start working together, and that's why big shout MTK, who are in a position to make these fights happen.
Yeah, shout out to MTK. They've got an amateur show coming up as well.
Yeah, it's just going to be good. Big shout MTK.
Fantastic. Just before I close, there's a few things I want to talk to you about to end. Mikey Garcia, Errol Spence. Really?
Why not? But you see the size difference.
Just a little bit, yeah. How do you get around that one?
Oh, what an interesting fight.
It is.
I would compare Canelo and Rocky Fielding.
Oh, God.
Again, the height difference, but you know, I would love for the Englishman to win, but we're talking levels here.
Talking levels here. If Fielding were to do it, where would he be in terms of upsets?
Well, I don't say upsets because Canelo's been beaten.
Yeah, but he's got beaten by a pound for pound great. There's a difference.
True, it is true. It is true. It'll be. I wouldn't compare it to Buster Douglas and Tyson. I wouldn't compare it to Tyson Fury and Klitschko. I'd put it to
Don Curry, and I said Don Curry and
no. I would put it to Harold the Bomber Graham and Julian Jackson.
Ooh.
Because everything was smooth riding until the last punch, and boom.
Speaking of Julian Jackson, I spoke to him a couple of weeks ago. He's now in the Hall of Fame. So I've got to do an interview with Mr. Jackson soon. So yeah.
What a powerful puncher.
Oh, what a man. What a man. Guess who I spoke to a few days ago? Henry Wharton.
And you know, I was watching your video today, and who calls me? Henry Wharton. I says, flipping hell, I'm watching your video. And he goes, which video? I says, oh no, BWTM. And you was talking about how you'd love to pay to watch Eubank and Ben. He goes, really, really? Oh, I'll have to watch it again. It was pretty small, wasn't it? Strange.
And the interview I did afterwards, he broke down a tear in his eye. Because I was just like, Henry Wharton. I used to watch Henry Wharton as a kid. He was one of my favorite fighters.
Was it Ben that he dropped?
He dropped Ben.
Yeah, wow.
And I said I thought he had enough to beat Eubank, but that night Eubank put on a masterclass. I haven't seen Eubank box as good as that.
Oh, Eubank's a great boxer. But
he fought Henry well.
Henry Wharton, you know what he does for the community of where he's from? You know, mate, listen, great man, a great community man, giving back to the community, building up the grassroots. Wow, what a guy.
I didn't know he was from the traveling community. He told that to me. I went, what? I didn't know that.
Yep. And he's got a lot of travelers, young traveler boys that box for him. We've got a great club, great prospects. Wow.
So shout out to Henry Wharton for that.
And talk about prospects, shout out to my man, Dr. T, Barry, and the boys, Tiki, got you, Idris, Muhammad Ali, Ali Tazim, all the prospect lads.
Yeah, how is that going with prospects? What's going on with it? You ain't told me nothing about what's going on with prospects. What's going on?
Oh, do you want me to tell you the sad story? Okay. So, while I was in America, they sent me a letter saying that I had 20 days to find a gym fully equipped in Derby for inspection, otherwise I'd taken away my amateur license.
Okay.
I says, well, I'm not getting back till the 4th, so that leaves me with 11 days. Well, 16 days, sorry. And then obviously, I had other things. I've got to go to Portugal this weekend for the Box Cup. That takes another 3 days off that. So I'm having a bit of an argument with England Boxing Region about the situation. I said, look, I've got 2 boys that box for England. I've got 5 current national champions. I've got 20 registered boxers. I've got a further 20 casual boxers. And I said, what I was doing is I was physically taking all these guys to Warsaw every day, getting all the parents to drive up to Warsaw because that was the only gym we had. And when I tell you about Warsaw, it's 40 miles there, 40 miles back, probably longer. Every day out of our own pocket, And they says you can't do that because you're from Derby and you've got to be based in Derby. I says, rubbish. I'm not going to lose my kids to the streets. If I have to sacrifice my own money, so be it. Because if we can save one person from the streets, it's worth it. I've got a son myself, I've got a daughter myself. And you've got to treat all these kids like they're your own. Because if you can take away that pressure from parents that they have to worry about their kids, it's worth it. Because when you do God's work, you know, the reward in the hereafter is priceless.
Wow. So now the situation is?
I've called the bluff. Let's see what you're going to do. Take away my license.
Wow.
So okay. It is what it is.
Before I finish, you must get a chance to check out Jack Sunderland up in Birstall, the training cave. I've done little videos with them, I'm sure you've seen. And they just did the amateur show Saturday night, just gone last Saturday. And Henry Wotton was some nephew was on the bill as well. So you'd have to check them out as well.
Yeah, I will do. I'm always following what you do. It's pretty cool, to be fair. You know, when you're on the treadmill or you're just in your hotel room, you think, I check what Ingram's up to. Or, it's pretty cool. It is cool.
Yeah, thank you so much for that.
But can I just, again, I know it sounds, you've got to give Ben Davison all the credit for what he did. It was dubbed as Mission Impossible. Turned out to be Mission Possible. People, unfortunately, forget what he did with Isaac Lowe. He was first on the bill. He went on to win the WBC title, and now he's taking him up to the top 15 of the world. Now, what a fantastic fifth round knockout, and that was obviously overshadowed by what Tyson achieved. Obviously, rightfully so, but you got to understand what Ben had done and what Ben has achieved, and I'm so proud and so happy for what he's got. And I'm glad he's getting the recognition, because when we walked from that arena, all the top executives, all the top boxers, coaches, all the celebrities were saying, wow, now we believe in Ben Davison. And I'm glad he's getting all the credit he deserves. And he does deserve it, because who else gives 12 months of pressure? He was under pressure, but he stayed so cool and calm. And he's only 26 years old. So, Ben, if you're watching this, my man, salute you, my friend. Well deserved, my friend. Well deserved.
And I will say, got to give Ben his credit where it's due. So
and also Christian Blacklock, sorry. What a strength and conditioner. He was there through the Klitschko's fights, and he did a fantastic job.
There he goes. Go ahead, Asgar.
Can you hear me? Yeah, sorry, I'm saying is you got to give people Christian his credit, because what a great strength and condition. Like, this helped Tyson get to the way he's got to. You've got to listen. What a team! I'm just so honoured and privileged to be part of it. Give them the credit, and they deserve all the accolades they get. Tyson Fury, what a man, a legend, a king, and he's proven it. And I'm so glad he got the credit he deserves.
Absolutely. I think that's a great way to end it. Is there anything else you'd like to add before we end the interview with you?
I'm going to ask you a question.
Yes.
Frampton or Warrington?
Warrington, man. Come on.
Come on, man. Everybody's saying that. Well, I'm like Frampton.
What kind of question is that, man?
Oh, my God. Listen,
one man on the way down, another man on the way up.
We'll see. We'll see.
I saw the thing I like about Warrington. Listen, I'm a massive Frampton fan, but I think Warrington's bigger, stronger, more adaptable. I think he's able to switch styles. What he did against Lee Selby showed me that him and his dad have got something there that he can adapt. I think he'll adapt again for a Frampton fight.
Hey, Warrington brings a crowd, doesn't he? He brings a crowd. He's a great kid, likable kid. But see, I'm just supporting Frampton simply because of Jamie Moore and
Jamie Moore, what a trainer. I do like Jamie Moore. I've got a lot of time for Jamie Moore. I like him. I liked him as a fighter. But I think he'll make a good trainer as well.
Nigel Travis as well. He's in the corner. So what a combination. These guys, I'm supporting them because of them two, because I think, these are the fights that coaches really play the part.
Yeah.
And sometimes, well, most of the time, Frampton rises to the occasion. So I'm definitely going to be there. December 22nd, Manchester. Tommy Fury's on the undercard, so I can't wait. What a show! Gorman's on the show.
Hook us up with a Tommy Fury interview, man.
Give him a shout. Give him a call. Say, look, Tommy, I want to do an interview.
I don't know. You just used hook it up. I'll make it happen. I'm here. You know what to do. I'm here.
I'll send Tommy a message.
Lennox Lewis used to say, you know where to find me.
No, what Lennox Lewis does, he does this. I've got a video. He's always doing this.
Yeah.
So listen.
You know where to find me. You know where I am.
What I'm saying, what a great 2018 for boxing fans, and and potentially look for 2019. Boxing's winning. Boxing's doing everybody proud. The fans.
Listen, one final note. I don't go to press conferences, but Al Heyman and PBC being in the UK, man, that's worth me getting off my seat and going to press conferences for.
Can I say one more thing, please?
Yes, go ahead, brother.
And I want to give a big shout out to my man Sam Jones, who's in the States right now. Sam manages Joe Joyce, Guido, works with Adam Morales. Doing a fantastic job, especially being a lad from Derby. People don't see the great work he does.
Who's that?
Sam Jones.
Sam Jones?
Yeah, really, really on the ball, doing very well, making some great noises up them sides. And I want to give him credit because this is a guy from Derby that lives 5 minutes from my house. This is a guy that was always hungry, and I'm so pleased that he's doing so well. So respect, Sam, if you're watching this. But listen,
Sam on as well. You know where to find me. Get these people on the platform is here. Use it. That's what I'm here for.
Get Ben Davison on. That'd be great.
Listen, the platform is here.
Say no more. Say no more.
I've been saying it. It's not like I've been ducking, but you know.
Hey, but can I hear it from you though?
Listen.
Now listen, I'm saying one thing. I'm saying one thing.
I welcome.
Who's #1 heavyweight in the world right now?
Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder, because the fight was a draw. Sorry.
Okay, I'm going to ask you again.
Sorry.
I'm going to ask you again.
The history books say it was a draw. That's what it was.
If you had to put your house on it.
If I had to put my house on it, I'd wait for the rematch. And then I'll put my house on it.
No, you had to put it right now. Ingram, take that journalist, that, presenter kind of stuff out the window. Tyson Fury.
Listen to me.
Tyson
Fury. What I'm saying now is what I've said before. Tyson Fury is the superior boxer.
Thank you. End of. There's no
Deontay Wilder is an all-time great puncher.
And give him a goodie bag.
And for every boxing move that Tyson Fury has, Deontay Wilder has an equalizer. And for all the skill set that Fury's got, he has got a whole lot of weaknesses as well.
Mr. Ingram Jones.
One punch had Fury on his back. And 1 or 2 seconds more, we will be talking about Deontay still being champion. For me,
there's no ifs, there's no buts, there's no should have, could have.
They need to fight again.
No.
Who up?
Who got up? Did he drop him?
He got dropped by a basketball player, a bum. Remember this. And if I'm talking to Tyson, you got dropped by a bum. In your own words, a bum. You got dropped by a bum. That's what I said to Tyson. I use his own words.
Stop right there, Mr. Ingram Jones. I'm going to educate you now, my friend. I'm glad you said what you said. Are you there? You're not run off, have you?
Knockout. Clean.
Okay.
No points.
Mr.
No
Ingram Jones, let me speak, sir.
Clean.
Let me speak, sir.
Go ahead, sir.
There was a young man by the name of Cassius Clay. In his 8th professional fight, before he was called Muhammad Ali, was knocked down. Everyone thought he was finished.
You can't compare the two guys.
Let me explain to you.
Go ahead, sir.
People thought he was finished, and he got up. He was not knocked out. He was not knocked out by a basketball player. He was knocked out by your local, I don't know, pub drinker or whatever. And what you're trying to say, that you're going to say to the greatest ever, you got knocked out by a pub bum?
Who got knocked out by a pub bum? Who got knocked out by a pub bum? Who's all that?
Cassius Clay in his 8th fight.
He never got knocked out. Ali never got knocked out.
No, Tyson didn't get knocked out, did he?
He got dropped by a basketball player. That's a skinny basketball
Muhammad
player.
Ali got dropped by a worse guy.
Yeah, and?
Exactly my point to you.
But Ali could say, I am the greatest. And he could say it because he is the greatest.
And Tyson Fury, stop. I'm going to go by your words, Mr. Jones. Go by your words. You said to me that the greatest is the one that holds the lineal title.
Oh, yeah, of course. Oh, yes, baby.
Thank you very much. Who is the lineal champion of the world?
Wait. Okay, but the defense of the lineal title were against a midget and against a guy that was slower than a tortoise, right? In Pianetta, who was knocked out by Kevin Kingpin Johnson, who got knocked out in a round or two by our friend AJ. So when we put it into that context, the big fight that Fury had against Wilder, yes, he boxed superbly.
Mr. Jones.
However,
are you showing your personal hate?
However,
are you not accepting that Tyson Fury is the lineal champion?
He did not rip
with
the
all the
title
people watching this channel. You're embarrassing yourself. Let's just face the fact. Tyson schooled Wilder. Tyson is number 1. AJ is number 3. Wilder is number 2. You understand?
No more discussion. That's how it has to be in the rematch. Too many questions to ask, so there has to be a rematch. Because if we talk about this way, then there will be no rematch. So I want a rematch.
Okay, stop right there. Let me ask you one thing.
Yes, go ahead.
Does Tyson need Wilder or does Wilder need Tyson? And on that note, sir, it ends.
They need one another for clarity because the linear title at the WBC title then leads to Joshua, and that is that. Listen, look
on this tape. I want to show you the only person this is the person that's going to beat Tyson Fury.
Tyson Fury. You're going to show me a picture of it. Go on, show me a picture of Tyson Fury.
Can you see it?
What? Yeah, what? Space?
Yeah. Nothing. Nobody. Nobody's going to beat him.
There was a picture of me in there. I just not beat Tyson Fury.
Yeah. You couldn't even beat him in your dreams.
Probably not.
No, but listen, on a serious note, listen.
Yes.
What Tyson's done, unbelievable. Warrior, king.
Absolutely.
What Ben Davison's done, salute. You've proven you've taken up.
What that bum from Alabama did was great as well. The basketballer, the bum, the guy.
No. Take nothing away from Deontay Wilder. Take nothing away from him.
Yes.
You know, it wasn't his fault the decision was given. He was just doing what he was doing, and he fought. So listen, it was great for boxing fans, but it was even better that AJ now was getting exposed.
Yeah. Before I finish, got to mention my man, Mr. Boxing Today. When we talk heavyweight boxing across YouTube, there's only one man that does it, and it's Mr. Boxing Today. He said he had it 113. Hopefully the rematch is here. I'll definitely attend that, he says.
Who had it 113? Listen, let me tell you my best advice to your friend, Mr. Boxing Man.
Right, you go ahead.
Get your eyes tested.
Oh my lord!
Hey, big shot, Shabazz Masood, the Maverick, yo.
You couldn't resist, could you? You had to crank it up, didn't you? You had to crank it up. You couldn't end on just it being, we'll see you soon. You had to just crank it up a bit, didn't you?
The man saw it 113, 113. You don't even add up as 113, 113.
Proper exposed madmen, says Razor Ramon. No, on all seriousness, go ahead.
Razor Ramon, what a name. I love this geezer. Razor Ramon.
Go ahead. You're going to say something? He says, my eyes are good, says Mr. Boxing today.
Says the guy that sold you them dodgy glasses. Listen, go back and get a refund. Come on. 113, 113.
Listen, the fight needs to happen. There needs to be a rematch, and there needs to be closure, one way or the other. Either
No,
Fury,
it doesn't. Wilder needs to go back to the drawing board, test AJ. When them two sorted out their differences, then come and see Tyson. Or if it's Tyson and Wilder next, so be it.
When he was asked in the interview, when Tyson was asked in the interview about Wilder, do you know about a Wilder rematch? I got the impression he was more interested in fighting Joshua than fighting Wilder in a rematch straight away.
No, he wasn't. I think he wants to fight whoever wants to fight. He doesn't want to be messed about. Because one thing with these guys, they mess you about. There's all these false promises, there's all these hoops. And, you know, with AJ, with Wilder and Tyson, it was just a straightforward deal. Both wanted to fight each other. The contract was sent, the contract was signed.
I'm suggesting that Tyson texted him and said he wants to make the fight and he can make the fight in 5 minutes between Joshua and Fury. Do you believe that?
No, because Eddie Hearns is a businessman. Well, Barry Hearns is, and they will always put hurdles to their advantage. Now, what we're saying is, if it's a 50, it definitely is a 50-50 fight. No, they won't agree to 50-50 because they were all about making as much as they can. And it always delays things. And with them, it's always, we're pulling out then. It's just a joke. The fans have had enough of their crap. Either put up or shut up. That's the bottom line with them. Either put up or shut up.
Okay, fair enough. Asgar, as always, the debate goes on. Wilder Fury, as far as I'm concerned, it should be an immediate rematch and there needs to be closure, one way or the other. Either Fury getting knocked out, Wilder getting knocked out, or one of them getting beat to a point where there's just no even Stevie Wonder could score the fight. So that's what we need.
Hey, exactly. It's all about giving the fans what they deserve. But at least I'm glad Tyson Fury showed the world he is number one.
Fight should be at Wembley. The fight should be at Wembley.
Oh, yeah, well, listen, whatever makes sense. I would love it to be in Wembley.
I'd love it in April at Wembley. That's what I'd love.
Yeah, it'd be great. Can you imagine if it was April the 13th, same show? I love Frank Warren.
Beautiful. I would love that. I would love that. Would love it.
Hopefully I'm part of the team, part of the
and even a trilogy. Why don't they do a 3-fight deal? So fight then, and then fight in March, and then fight again at the end of the year. That'd be nice.
Yeah, it would if it was possible, but would it be? Does Wilder really want the rematch?
Yeah, I think he wants the rematch, but I'd like to see a third fight after they fight 2 fights. Let them fight a third fight. Trilogy.
I would love Wilder to fight AJ, unify the titles, and then all the belts are on the plate. Everything's on the plate. Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder, or AJ, I think it'll be Wilder, for all the belts, undisputed, unified title. This is everything.
Yeah, they don't want it. They don't want that. They don't want that. They don't want that. Clearly. You know they don't want it. I know they don't want it. So, right. I'll leave you to it.
Yep. Listen, thanks for having me on. I really do appreciate it. Good talking to you.
Those calls, you know where I'm at.
Take care, my friend. All the best.
Thank you, brother. All the best, as always.
And you. My pleasure. Thank you. Bye-bye.
As always, Asgar, the man from Team Fury, giving us insight, a bit of tongue-in-cheek, and as always, much love. Thank you so much, and thank you to you, the people that make it matter. Thanks again. This is BWTM, and we are out. All the best.